So we're going to create a new document, which is A4 landscape orientation. You don't really need to worry about any of the settings on this page because we can override that in our layout button in the ribbon at the top. Okay, so can you see it in this pages flyout that we at the top have got an A master, okay, and a none. And then at the moment, our page 1 is highlighted, okay, with an application of A master which has been applied, but there's nothing on our A master. So what we're going to do is click on A master. Now we're on our master page. So I'm just going to go margins and columns, and I'm going to set up a 3-column layout. And my outside and inside margins, probably around 7 and let's give it all the same. And your gutter, well, these are going to be where your folds are, so let's go with 4. Okay. So let's use a rectangle tool, and in fact, what I want to do before I do anything else is go back into my document settings, and if you were getting this offset printed, you'd want to set a bleed, and normally the printer spec for a bleed is about 5mm, and you'll see now that my bleed, can you see that red line? I think it's red. Colorblind doesn't really help. There you go. We've got, so that's your A4 page there, and that's your bleed. And when I draw my boxes now, I'm going to...
I'm still a little bit confused as to what the bleed is.
Okay. So when a printer, when you get a magazine, okay, and you've got, say for example, you've got a black page, yeah, and it's black all the way to the edge. If you sent this to the printer like that, you would get a white line around the outside. Because they're cropping maybe 100 sheets at a time, your sheet will deviate slightly. So to prevent any white or non-ink paged, you drag it to the bleed. That means that the printer has got 5mm of cropping area to play with.
But how would that affect a printer that's set up with a bigger margin? I mean, is that printer setting? Does that make sense? So if I print from here, so
sorry, this is only for offset printing.
What's offset?
It's where you take it to the printers and they do larger volume.
Oh,
if it's digital printing, it's slightly different. But
right. So how did you get to that bleed area?
It's in the layout, and it's sorry, no, it's not. It's in document settings, and there's a more options setting.
Yeah. Right.
Okay. Okay, so I've dragged that up to the top, and I've dragged that down to the bottom as well. All happy with that? Let's just change the color of that. Good thing about swatches as well is if I say, okay, well, I'm going to duplicate that, but I'm going to change that black to a 30% grey, I can now swatch options. I can change that to 30% grey. So you can set up all your own color swatches if you want, or what I tend to do, I use Adobe Color and import my own swatches. So somebody's done all the hard work for me, and being colorblind, it really is helpful. Okay, so I'm going to put some color on the rest of them. So put that in. Maybe I'll use a white space between. And it's keeping my 30% because I quite like that. There we go, and last one. Okay. So with regards to that, there's that. I've just set that up as a page, and I quite like that, and I want it back and front, let's say. So if I go back to my pages, I can now apply that master page. I need to do that for both sides. So I've got master A, but I want to duplicate that master A, and I want to change some colors.
How did you duplicate that?
If you go page, right click. A lot of hidden sort of buttons and functions are right click based. So by right clicking on it, I can move the master, I can duplicate the master, I can delete the master. I've got master options, and I can change that to so you can actually name things, so you can actually find out where you are, sort of what you're doing, etc., etc. Okay, so let's just change some elements on this, so they are slightly different. There we go. And let's do that one as well. Okay. So back on our pages. Let's bring the master from that one over, and then I want to create another new page. Oh, not a new master. Sorry. There we go. Okay, so just created some pages. Just going to get rid of one of them. Now, can you see that I've got page 1 and page 2? In fact, that will be your front and your back. If I want to now get some of my master pages onto those, all I have to do is drag it on, and it's there for you. Okay? Now, if you might want to change some of those attributes. So if you just right-click, override all master page items, I can now click on B and edit some of these attributes. So you've used a master page, but you can make changes on it. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, so that's all good. Now, one thing that you should really be getting used to as well is the use of layers. Now, if I click on my layers page, this is on layers 1. All my other, I want to call this a name. So I'm going to call this my background, because that's what it is. Then you might as well just set up everything. You might want to say, okay, this next one is going to be my images. And the one after that might be your text. And obviously, you can actually identify which layer is on what by what color you actually show.
So I'm confused what we're looking at now. Are we still on the master?
No.
Or is this, we're actually in a page now?
You're in a page.
And we know this is page 2 and that's page 1?
Yeah.
The one above it is
Yeah.
page 1?
Yes.
But those layers you just applied, do they apply to both pages?
Yes.
So when I'm on page 1,
Yeah.
that had its own layers, and page 2 has its
No,
own layers?
these are now, these layers are through the entire document.
So if you've got 100 pictures on 100 pages, they're all on one layer?
Yeah. So I can turn off, or if you wanted to, you could say, right,
For every single picture?
if you wanted to. But I tend to work on all my images are on my image layer, my text is on my text. And it's good because
Well, what if you've got a page, what if you've got a picture, an image on page 1?
Yeah.
That's in exactly the same place as an image on page 2. How
Yeah.
does that appear in your layers?
Because it's just on that layer.
Right, so then what, you have layers within layers? So if you put a picture on page 1 now,
Yeah.
and a picture on page 2 now, how does that appear on that layer?
Okay.
Because I'm thinking of Photoshop.
Yeah.
And they'd be on top of each other in a layer.
I'll show you now. So I'm just going to put an image in there. Fitting. So that is on
Yeah.
image layer, yeah?
Yeah. Maybe we do the same over there.
Just means that I know where they are.
But if I did click on, so it's not a layer as in, if you, what happens if you click on that little arrow next to images? If you click on that, what does that do? Right, so if I have different images,
Yeah?
can I choose that particular image in
Yes,
there?
you can.
And that'll appear under
Yeah.
images. Right, so that makes sense.
So if I open that up now.
Oh no, it's still there. So which one is that? Do you understand what I mean? Like, how can I select a picture within the layers palette? Or would I have to go and find that picture?
There are different ways. So, because I'm placing them, each of my images is in the links.
Okay.
So I can then go to that link.
Right, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to
I can
know.
say, oh, that's an RGB. I can't send that to the printers. I've got to change it. So I can then brilliantly edit with Photoshop.
Change it to a
It'll open up that Photoshop file. It's going to take ages now,
I was
isn't
gonna
it?
say it's taking a while.
Anyway, and so
Okay, so
So-
that works nicely with the layers and the images. So the layers are, like you say, you can categorize them as images of text, and then the links are
yeah,
the features, the elements of what's in those layers. Yeah.
and it'll open up hopefully. There we go.
I know you can edit it straight away in here, press save, and it'll automatically
Yes.
save in InDesign.
Yeah. Did you know about that? So, for example, if I change this image now,
Just click on this.
if I want to image adjust, and we'll go back. Go back to InDesign.
Just change it.
I'll come up with a. We just go right click and update link. So that's really good. It improves your workflow. So obviously that's talking about layers. If I now start putting some text in, obviously exactly the same thing. If you wanted to then put your text boxes in, you can actually put guides in your master and follow those if you wanted to. But one of the last things I want to show you, just to, I'm aware of time, is I'll show you how to set up character style sheets and object style sheets.